I just wanted to firstly say what a huge privilege it has been to be a very small part of such a big and encompassing plan, but more so to acknowledge the incredible leadership across Australian cricket to bring together a plan as important as this in such a cohesive and exciting manner. I think as a player and someone who's been involved in the women's game for over a decade, I think to see people so excited and so motivated to grow the game and take it to a whole new level is incredibly exciting. On that point, I think the aspirational goals of the plan, especially in terms of filling our major stadiums here in Australia more often, and really increasing in a significant way the commercial and sponsorship deals that we have within women's cricket is incredibly exciting for the elite group of players currently involved and those in the future. But I think just as importantly, what is so crucial to this plan is that it is so encompassing all the way across cricket and is really targeted towards improving and increasing the participation of women and young girls in the sport at every possible level. So I think from that point of view, the leadership that cricket is showing in terms of continuing to improve the opportunities for women to be involved in sport is truly magnificent, and one that I think we're all very proud to be a part of, and it's been a real privilege, so thanks.
What your role has been in devising this plan, and what have you noticed about participation at the grassroots, because we do know there is a lot of competition to get girls interested, so what have you noticed about the transition?
Well, firstly, I'd really like to point out I've had a very small role in what has been a much bigger project, but I sat on the steering committee that's overseen the direction of the program and of the plan, and I think, significantly, as you point out, the participation of young girls in the sport is a crucial pillar to this plan. And one of the things that we've really seen is that we've got a lot of entry-level players coming in and girls really enjoying the sport. But the key is to be able to keep those girls involved in the sport, both as players, but also in other aspects as they move through their life. So that's a really crucial point. You're right. There's a lot of competition, and I think it's really healthy competition across many sports in the country now, and that just shows how much women's sport has developed and how much opportunity there is.
How critical is it to grow the numbers of
Yeah, I think junior cricket and community cricket is the lifeblood of cricket, as is junior and community sport in any sport. From I guess a pathway and participation point of view in terms of growing the depth of our elite players, that's totally fundamental to the continued success of the elite game. I think we sort of look across the world at the moment, and there's such burgeoning numbers of players in many other nations that we play against. Particularly in India, I think the game has just come along so rapidly in the last 5 or 6 years. So there's always increasing competition there. But I think really underlying all of that is that girls can just have fun playing a sport that they choose to play. And whilst we want to continue to be successful for many years to come, I think the fundamental goal is to just have people enjoy playing sport at whatever level they desire to play at.
There's goals in the plan to win a gold at the Olympics in 28 and 32. Is that something the team is already starting to look forward to internally, even though it's 4 years away?
I guess without having overtly mentioned it, it certainly is something that we've really spoken about, is continuing to evolve as a team and to continue to play cricket that's leading the world. There's a lot of competition amongst the top nations at the moment, and I've got no doubt that everyone's looking at that Olympic Games as a crucial pillar to success in the coming years. Sort of look at the Commonwealth Games and that experience a couple of years ago, and how much everyone loved playing in that, and how important and how much that or meddling in that games really meant. So the Olympics is probably tenfold on that. It certainly does. I think that's a great marker of the aspirations of this plan, is to to really grow the game in terms of attendance at top tier stadiums in the country. I think there's a real marker that's been laid for women's sport in terms of attendance at matches now, and for us to continually do that on a regular basis is something that is really important. But definitely the MCG Test match early next year is a great opportunity to start that.
What do you make of the shorter WBBL season as well?
Yeah, I think the chance to optimise the WBBL this season was a really important one, again, for what we've spoken about in terms of attendances, being able to stage games at appropriate times, maximise opportunities with TV and broadcast. And then, as an offshoot of that, what the reduction of the WBBL has really allowed is to give girls who are playing state cricket even more of an opportunity to play matches, and with that comes an increase in remuneration, which means that we're providing girls with a chance to earn more money across the season, which is another great step in the right direction in terms of a fully professional domestic game. So those things considered, it's a really good step, and one that's relevant for such a crowded schedule this year, and I'm sure those things will continue to develop as the landscape changes.
In the wake of what Meg Lanning seems to have expressed in the last couple of years, what's the plan to help elite cricketers with some of the challenges with regards to disorder and mental health?
Yeah, one of the things that's really highlighted amongst the high performance pillar is around providing even more opportunity and access to resources in the sports science and sports medicine area for female athletes. I think that's been something across the board, not just in cricket but in all sport, that's been significantly under-resourced. There's very little studies that are specifically focused on female athletes as it currently stands, and then as a result we don't know enough to support people as best as we possibly can. So that's something that we already heavily invest in cricket, but it's not something that we can't do better as well. So that's a piece of the puzzle that's certainly been put down to make sure that we continue to provide the best possible care to our athletes.
How do you feel reading or hearing those comments from Meg?
Oh, look, I think as a teammate of Meg's, first and foremost, the whole team is just incredibly supportive of her and hope very much that her welfare is okay and her well-being. That's the most important thing. I think it's obviously incredibly brave for her to come out and speak about those things, and I'm sure in doing so she hopes that helps other people as well who experience similar things across their time. So I think it's obviously really hard to hear that as a teammate, and to know that someone that you've played with so closely for a long period of time has had some struggles, but at the same time I really hope she's doing well, and I guess has access to the appropriate care that she needs.
Nick made a comment before. Sorry, you go ahead.
Hi, Mohammed Nadeed, HW Sports. Lisa, has got in women cricket. With this action plan launched, what is your message, young cricketers across the world, especially Pakistan and India?
Oh, right. Well, I just think there's no greater time to be involved in the women's game. There's obviously so many tremendous and exciting opportunities that are evolving as we speak. Obviously the WPL over in India has been tremendously successful and is continuing to grow each year. It's staged, and I think hopefully as leaders in cricket here in Australia, we're able to set a really great example for the rest of the world in terms of continuing to strive for more development and growth right across the game.
Yes, as a player, what type of recommendation do you give in this action plan, and what do you think which part we need to be improved for the betterment of women cricket across the world, especially in Australia?
So I sat on the steering committee, so we sort of oversaw the direction of the plan. I think all the pillars, the 5 pillars in this plan are crucial, and they interconnect in a lot of ways. And as I said, I think for us to set a really great example for the rest of the world is something that we'd love to do and provide leadership on. And I think, this plan kind of gives us the opportunity to do that across so many different facets of the game, but at the end of the day, all of those facets are sort of important in terms of the overall development of not just women's cricket but Australian cricket.